Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever wondered what the world's most successful people actually do every single day? Well, today, we're going to break down the real routines, the principles that fuel their performance, and see if there's a kind of blueprint that we can all learn from.
It's such a tempting idea, right? This thought that there's some secret, magic schedule out there that just, boom, unlocks greatness. That if we could just copy what some high achiever does, boom, we get the results. But as we're about to find out, it's not quite that simple.
To answer that question, just look at these two. On one side, you've got the philosopher Immanuel Kant. His life was so ridiculously regular, like clockwork, the people in his town literally set their watches by his daily walks. And then on the other side, the novelist Honoré de Balzac. This guy was fueled by just insane amounts of caffeine and these chaotic all-night writing binges. So you've got two totally different paths, right? But both led to legendary success. It's pretty clear there's no single magic formula.
Okay, so if it's not some rigid cookie-cutter schedule, then what is it? Well, it turns out it's a flexible framework. It's built on a set of shared principles. Think of it like a blueprint, not a prescription. And we've boiled this blueprint down into three core pillars we're going to walk through today. First, priming your mind. Second, fueling your work. And third, building your own formula.
All right, let's dive right into Pillar 1, priming your mind. So, how do the best of the best actually set the stage for their entire day? Turns out, they are absolute masters of the morning routine, creating a start that gives them a serious edge.
So when you think morning routine, the first thing that probably pops into your head is waking up super early, right? And yeah, a lot of successful people are early risers. But here's the real key. Early is totally personal. The right time to wake up is the time that actually works for your body and your life. That's the secret.
And what's so interesting here is just look at the variety. Check this out. You've got Apple's Tim Cook getting up at 3:45 in the morning. Wow. But then you have Bill Gates and Elon Musk waking up at a much more, conventional 7 a.m. This just proves the point, right? It's not about the specific time on the clock. It's about intentionally carving out that time to get ready for the day on a schedule that actually respects your own body's clock.
So, how can you actually use that first hour? Well, here's a really simple but powerful template. It's called the 20-20-20 rule. For the first 20 minutes, you move. Get some exercise, get that blood pumping, energize your body. The next 20 minutes, you reflect. This is where you can plan your day or meditate to kind of center your mind. And the final 20 minutes, you grow. Read something, listen to a podcast, learn something new. Move, reflect, grow. It's an incredibly powerful way to win your morning.
And, inside that reflect block, there's one practice that just keeps coming up again and again, meditation. The late, great Kobe Bryant, a true legend of focus and intensity, said he meditated every single day. Why? To clear his mind of stress and all those unnecessary thoughts.
So what is meditation, really? Let's break it down. It's basically just a practice for training your attention. That's it. By focusing on right here, right now, the present moment, you're not just calming yourself down. You're actively fighting stress, you're sharpening your focus, and you're building this incredible tool of self-awareness.
And Kobe was definitely not alone in this. This practice is pretty much universal among top performers. From tech pioneers like Steve Jobs, to media moguls like Oprah, to sports icons like Michael Jordan, you see leaders in literally every field you can imagine using meditation as a core part of their toolkit for success.
Okay, and one last little tip for priming your mind: plan your day the night before. It sounds so simple, but this one act just completely eliminates that morning indecision. You know that feeling. Instead of waking up and thinking, what should I do now? You wake up with a clear purpose, and you can just hit the ground running.
Okay, that brings us right to pillar number 2, fueling your work. So you've primed your mind, you've had a great start. Awesome. But now how do you keep that energy and focus going for the entire day?
One of the biggest challenges we all face is just maintaining focus, right? Well, there's a really powerful tool for this called the Pomodoro technique. The idea is super simple. You work in these intense 25-minute sprints, and then you take a short break. It's that rhythm, that pulse of focus and then rest. That's the absolute key to keeping your mind sharp and stopping burnout in its tracks.
But hey, remember what we said. This is a blueprint, not a rigid rule. You can totally adapt it.
In fact, there was one study that found an even more effective cycle might be 52 minutes of focused work followed by a 17-minute break. But here's the most important part of that break, and you gotta listen to this. It has to be a real break. Like, completely away from your screens. Let your mind actually reset.
But look, managing your time is really only half the battle. You also have to make sure you're working on the right things. As Darren Hardy, author of The Compound Effect, advises, you should note down your tasks and then at the end of the day, just ask yourself one simple question. Did what I did today move me closer to my goals? That one little act of review creates this incredible feedback loop for real progress.
And of course, let's be real for a second. None of these mental tricks work if you don't have the physical energy to back them up. You just can't separate your mind from your body. Things like quality sleep, a healthy diet, staying hydrated, getting exercise, these aren't optional luxuries if you want to be a high performer. They are the absolute, non-negotiable foundation that everything else is built on.
Listen, if there is just one number you remember from this entire explainer, please let it be this one. 8. 8 hours of quality sleep a night is the gold standard. It is not lazy. It is the single most effective productivity tool you have. Period. Which brings us to our final and maybe most important pillar, building your own formula. Okay, this is where we put all the pieces together. This is where you become the architect of your own success. And this really brings us back to the core message we started with. We are not here to hand you some rigid formula, some set of chains that tells you what you must do. No way. We're giving you a flexible framework, a whole toolbox, so that you can build a system that's personalized and actually sustainable for your life.
So let's put another powerful tool in that new toolbox of yours. It's called the 90-90-1 rule. It's so simple, but so effective. Here it is. For the next 90 days, you dedicate the first 90 minutes of your workday to your single most important goal. No emails, notifications, just pure, uninterrupted, deep work on the one thing that truly matters. I mean, can you just imagine the progress you could make?
Now, I know this might all sound like a lot, it can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to change everything all at once. Success is not built overnight. It's the result of what they call the compound effect. Just small, smart choices that you make consistently day after day. So please, just start with one small, meaningful change. So this all brings us to the final and honestly the most important question of all. After looking at this whole blueprint, priming your mind, fueling your work, building your own system, what is the one habit that you will start tomorrow? Because at the end of the day, this isn't about just learning stuff. It's about doing.